who has articulated the African philosophy. It means it has resulted in 3 words. As you see, people are good. And that is genuinely simple, short, and understandable. But are the people really good? How do we know it? There are lots of ways to prove it. I take 3 practical and simple ones. Look around in this room and try to find someone who you can stamp surely and truly is a bad guy. You will have problem. I can't see any. I think you can't find anyone too. So the majority of people are really good, and that is not only in this audience, among your neighbors, among your friends, relatives, whatever. There is a good picture here. Have a look. So there are 2 babies. They are contacting each other, but both the parents are not aware of it. So no one is born with hatred or intolerance. Or have you ever seen a bad or a racist baby? No. And don't confuse the poor and hungry one with bad ones. If a car doesn't have any fuel, it can't drive, and it is not necessarily a bad one. The pirate of Somalia, they were very peaceful fishermen. After the big fish companies empty fish, the coastal area, they were jobless, so turned to piracy. If you have some hungry kids at home, you are ready to do everything to feed the people. And it is not, it doesn't mean that the people are bad. And the other reason why the people aren't bad and are good is that we are all the part of the same body from the beginning. If you imagine a pyramid, at the beginning it was only a couple. So we are the descending from this couple. So part of the same body. Which organ are you damaging that the other organs not suffer? Look at this field, this picture. All of them are organs from the same body. You could imagine they are different people from different countries, different religion, whatever. So they are all the same. So if you ignorant to the suffering of the other people, actually you are not a human being. Because after this principle, you shouldn't be indifferent to the suffering of other people. So the people are good. African philosophy is simple. And now the question is, how can we practice it? We can practice it by giving the people a friendship credit. That is what at the beginning I demonstrated, by which by accepting and respecting other people. That is the second step. They are not rhetorical stories, they are feasible. You can respect other people. You can accept it is feasible and part of African philosophy. Last not the least, by admitting that our way of life is only one of millions, and by no means the only one and sacred one. So be tolerant against towards the other people. Father's elder mother has been very generous lady. I was told that actually all her life she has been helping, feeding poor people and taking care of them. So that is the legacy of her mother, what Father Edeh does. Helping, taking care of other people. That is a nice picture there. It was in my, where I live. That is a torch, school, pardon. There were torrential rain, and the nest of these animals are bowled down. And through the rain, the nest was well full, and the fireman has to remove them, otherwise they would be drowned. And they were taken to a animal asylum, and all of a sudden another stork was appeared and insisted upon feeding these storks, babies, and they were 18. And the stork had already 2 kids. Nevertheless, wanted to feed these 18 small birds. Very remarkable, even by animals that is now to give take to the other people. What is the effect of this African philosophy? What happens if we practice it? There are immediate effect and long-term effect. The immediate effect is reflecting on us. We feel better. If I think that you are all friendly, good people, so I feel better. Nothing better can happen to me. You are my friend, you are my helper, you are protecting me. That is actually a heavenly feeling to be among good people, friendly people. The people are like mirror. Whatever you do, they reflecting back. Dr. Sharon already told you that peace begins with smile. If you smile to somebody, there is the other one can't be helped, has to smile back. So if the people are good, we are making them better. If they are bent of no good, we make them good. That is the immediate effect. The long-term effect is more impressive, namely increasing tolerance. Look at this beautiful picture. Decreasing conflict and approaching peace. That is unfortunately not to be seen. That is half here and with pigeon. That's a technical problem with color.
Well, the lights, they turned on these lights. Can these two
Oh,
lights be turned
yeah,
off?
good idea.
Because it's reflecting off of it and we can't see it. Thank
To be fair, there are lots of, happily lots of children here. Kinder, fühlt ihr euch wohl hier? Könnt ihr nachvollziehen, was wir so in etwa sagen? Ist es okay oder ist es zu langweilig für euch? Na, sag doch was. Ja, mindestens die Picture, die Bilder müssen doch schön sein. Habt ihr die Bilder gesehen? Okay. Gut. So, we practice African philosophy by taming the people, taming by trust. So if you trust someone, even if it's spent on no good, it is difficult to be bad to you. There is a good plastical example. There was a couple in Argentina, I have experienced it as a tourist, and a robber wanted to grab the camera from these people. These people weren't aware of it. All of a sudden they saw a monument, they wanted to have a picture in front of this monument, so turned round and saw the robber and gave the robber the camera and asked to have a picture. And this robber really took a picture and gave the camera back to the people. Okay, there is no guarantee, but nevertheless, trusting people is less risky than mistrusting them. To demonstrate trust, English policemen, bobbies, do not carry firearms, and they are by no means fools. They know what they do. Build a high reputation, as high as possible, in your favor. Is the reputation ruined? People are not ashamed of any wrongdoing. What happens if we ignore African philosophy? They were the point where we practice African philosophy. What is very impressive to find out what happens if we ignore it. This year is the 20th anniversary of Rwanda atrocity. As you all know, 20 years before, within 90 days, 1 million Rwanda slaughtered each other. 1 million within 90 days. So you can justify, you can with right ask me where African philosophy. It happens middle in African continent. And that is exactly the core question, namely the African philosophy wasn't there. That was why this catastrophe could happen. Even the people, if the people know it, it doesn't mean that they are doing it. Knowing is something, doing is quite a different matter. And don't confuse rule with exception. That what has happened is an exception. Comparison with 7 million people. And we shouldn't confuse it with rule. The rule is that the people are peaceful. And this year is also the centenary of First World War, 100 years ago. So, 40 nations were at war for 4 years, resulting in 17 million dead. And the trigger was the assassination in Sarajevo of Ferdinand, Duke of Austria. That was the trigger of this catastrophe. That is the biggest catastrophe ever happened till then. And the First World War was the real cause of the Second World War. Caused 55 million deaths. Altogether, also 72 million dead through an assassination. So imagine this assassination hasn't happened, so we didn't have this 72 million people dead. A violent man or a candle can set the whole world on fire. Father Edeh, super non-violent because he combines African philosophy with Christianity, couldn't assassinate and can assassinate anyone. So if everyone follows his example, his philosophy, actually these two worlds war couldn't happen. It is mathematical, nothing else. So is African philosophy merely rhetorical and are we wasting our time, or that is something of importance in our real life? There are fortunately enough encouraging examples. The first example, Mahatma Gandhi. India was occupied for 100 years by English Empire, and he freed India by non-violence means. So that after that, Churchill mentioned that the English Empire was defeated by a barefoot, fragile old man, and that is true. Nelson Mandela, you know, old, I don't tell more about it. There are also living examples, Dalai Lama and Father Edeh. If everyone would make only one person lucky, mathematically you couldn't find any unlucky or hungry man. And these gentlemen have done millions. That's Albert Einstein has admired Mahatma Gandhi. That is a tone in it, but technically it's not feasible, so I'm not going to read it. But it's very impressive. Two world religions emphasizes non-violence, Christianity and Buddhism. Jesus' embodiment of non-violence died violently, but still alive. Alexander the Great embodiment of violence and power is only a pale history. So violence is of short breath. Father Edeh has practiced African philosophy by providing people with elementary necessity. That's why we refer to Somalian people, hungry people. So if you are hungry, you don't ear for any philosophy, not even African philosophy. So Father Edeh provided the people with housing, food, work, medical care, security, and peace. And if you provided these elementary necessities, the second step is early education. I have taken this picture in Father Edeh's